Good morning and welcome to Mouse's Makes episode 125. My name is Mandy, sometimes known as Mouse. This is Miss Poppy, my co-host, who's feeling well enough today to come and see us. We've had another little chat with the vet. Poppy really wasn't eating and she had a couple of suggestions. If you haven't been here, Poppy was diagnosed with pancreatitis beginning of January, middle of January. Yes, you. And the vet said she had to have a very special diet. She wasn't eating it, and we didn't know whether that was because she didn't like it or whether it was because her tummy was still sore. So the vet said, give her something that you know she will eat and see if she eats that. If she doesn't, then we can give you some appetite stimulants for her. So we gave her her favourite thing after cheese. She can't have cheese, which is roast chicken. And she gobbled down hers, and then she barged her brother out the way and ate his as well. So it wasn't an appetite issue, it was an I don't really like this new food issue. So we are allowed to give her some roast chicken along with her special biscuits. So she's a bit happier girl, aren't you? Yes, a bit happier girl, thank you. Oh, the love eyes. So she has joined us for today. I don't know how long she'll be here. She might take herself off in a bit, since I've come into her room and disturbed her. Anyway, I've opened the blind. Pops can now see the garden a bit better, but mainly because it is a very dark, dreary, wet, miserable day here in Somerset. So it's fortunate that I have something lovely and bright to cheer it up. It's finished. Ooh, it's not very well blocked. I finished it and I didn't really know how I wanted to block it. I took a picture, which I might put in here, when it was literally straight off the needles, and I loved the shape of it, and I didn't really want to lose that shape, but obviously I needed to stretch out the lace and so on. So what I ended up doing was just, also it's very large, I just folded it in half. I've done it before with large shawls, so the top of it you can see is still a little bit baggy because it wasn't stretched out and round, but I don't think that's going to make a great deal of difference when I'm wearing it, because either it'll be over my shoulders, the other way round of course, or it'll be around my neck. So doesn't really matter. The border, which went on for a million years, and I kept complaining about it, and I have written down how much yarn I used out of each ball. There's a lot of border, isn't there? And for the border alone I used almost 80 grams, and I think, wait, let me start from the beginning. This is the Glittering Snowscape Shawl by Stephen West. Oh, can you even see that? It was the 2023 Hibernitolong pattern. Yes, for the border I used nearly 80 grams, and that was the only place that colour E went into. This is what's left of colour E. Not much. Colour A used a tiny bit more because there's quite a lot of sections. This is my own hand dyed. This is Mousewitch yarn in the August. Yeah, August colourway. Year of Yarn August from 2023. It's so dark. I wonder if does that reflect back any light? No, not really. So that's colour A. Colour B This is from Little Mouse House, and it's part of a set with colours D and E. It's a Little Mouse House. And the set is called Blood Debt. It was a set of 3 skeins, and I chose them because they went with these two, which was colour A and colour C, August, and the other one is November from the Year of Yarn. It's so dark. Let's see, does that help? Not really. Oh yes, now it's brightened itself up. But that might just be my screen, not the recording, so I don't know. Yes, so these 3 were Blood Debt. And because I've turned the lamp on, they're coming out a bit yellowy. You'll be seeing those again in a bit. So it is finished. It is finished. It is blocked. It is pretty massive. I'm trying to peer through a hole. I think you can kind of see it mostly. It fits really well. If I wear it around my shoulders, it fits very nicely, like the Eyelet Burst does. There is almost a little bit too much of it to wear it like this. Where's the end? There it is. See, I put my hair in pigtails today, and I would have done better putting it up. There's a lot of yellow next to my face. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think it's okay. But yeah, it's big. It is large. But it is also, because of the yarn I've used and because of these lacy sections, quite light and drapey. So yeah, all in all, we like it. I'm going to take it off because I'm still quite warm, and I'm going to overheat, and then I get angry. I get so angry when I'm hot. I think it's an age thing. Anyway, that is all finished. I was going yesterday. It was a beautiful sunny day yesterday, and I was going to go outside and take... I said beautiful. Did you think I was talking to you? I was going to take some proper sort of finished object photos, and I just didn't get round to it. Because the sun is low, because of the time of year, I left it too late. So it didn't get done. So I don't know when that might get done, next time the sun shines. This is my 3rd finished object this year. I've entered them all into the Whip Be Gone make along by Karen from the Recreational Knitting podcast, because obviously I can't enter it into ours, mine and Belinda's, from Belinda's Baubles. We're running the topping off mal until the end of March, so I'm entering them into Karen's. Karen's runs for the whole year. I will link Belinda's podcast is linked below anyway, and you need to watch that if you're entering into the topping off mal. Topping out mal. You need to watch Belinda's podcast for prize winner announcements. But I will link Karen's below as well, because we're happy with you double dipping, and I'm quite sure she is. She's also running Stash Be Gone. But yeah, watch her podcast for all the details. I don't want to tell you anything wrong. Okay. Gonna have a cough break. Sorry about that. Ewan has a terrible cold, and I think he may have shared it with me. Right. I've left something over there that I need, so I'm going to have to pause again in a minute. Never mind. I've cast on something new. There's going to be a lot of that going on. despite my protestations. Let me put that there. Is that okay? Can I put that there? Is that all right? Good. Where have I put it? Oh, it's down here. Dave asked... I fell off the screen again. Dave asked me for another hat and the same yarn that I'd knit his socks in. Caroline, you asked for a choking warning. I'm going to try and give you one because this is starting to descend into its usual chaos. So you better prepare yourself. Right, I last week finished some socks for Dave that I had knit in this yarn, which is King Cole Zigzag in the colourway Cocoa. And he asked could he have a hat. And as you know, I do quite like knitting a Musselburgh. I think this is number 13. So to be on the safe side, I said, do you want another Musselburgh or do you want a different sort of hat? But he did want one the same as he'd got. So I've cast it on. I stopped here because it's made such a pretty little circle. It's knitting up rather nicely. It's always a bit dodgy. If you're using a stripy yarn, when you're doing the increases and the decreases, it's always a bit dodgy because obviously the length of the row is changing every other row. So it can be a bit dodgy. But I'm really happy with that little square in the middle there. And I've nearly finished. No, I haven't nearly finished. I'm close to finishing the increases. I've got it on this little needle, which is really a bit too small, or it will be when I've finished increasing. I ordered some, I knit them on 3mm DPNs if I'm using sock weight yarn. This is all over the place. I thought I had some 3mm DPNs, but I can't find them. It's quite possible that they're in a project bag on the shelf of shame over there. So I stole this needle out of something else for the time being and ordered some 3mm DPNs on Amazon because they were meant to come the next day. It's 4 days later and I'm still waiting for them. So I went yesterday to my local yarn shop, which is the Lace Knittery in Ilminster. And she had every other size of DPN, but not 3mm. And Dave said, oh, it must be the most popular size then. And I said, no, I think it's the least popular size. But anyway, she's ordering me some in. If the Amazon ones ever turn up, Royal Mail have lost them. Royal Mail are a disaster at the moment. I'm sorry if you are a postman or married to a postman, but certainly in my area, disaster. So, yeah, if they turn up, I'm probably going to return them because she's ordered me some and I'm going to get them next week. So I'll manage on this needle in the meantime. Okay? Okay. So, I ordered that yarn and I think I told you last week that I was afraid that it would be lonely travelling by itself. I'm going to balance that there. If there's a terrible bang in a minute, it'll be that falling down because it's got a wooden twirly-whirly thing in the middle of it. So, I bought these as well. They're all King Cole Zigzag. That's upside down. This one is Rose and this one is Mayfly, which I thought when I saw it online, I thought it was black and white, but it's not actually. It's navy, sort of two lighter denim-y blues and cream. I'd bought this one for me, but I actually really like this one. So I might end up making myself some socks eventually in this one. This one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's going to knit up kind of a stripy Fair Isle business. If you've used this and you've got a photograph of what it looks like knit up, if you could email it to me or Instagram it to me, I'd be quite interested to see how it knits up. What puts me off is it's pink and red. And you know how I feel about pink and red and green. Pink and red are sort of like the next notch down from red and green in my colours that should not be put together scale. I mean, some pinks and reds work. I'm not going to get into that. Don't start again, Mandy. Just don't start. I personally don't like pink and red together, but this might look okay when it's knit up. I don't know how it's going to knit up. So I bought these two online. Where can I put them? I'm running out of places to put things. I'm going to balance it there. Then when I went to the Lace Knittery, it's a small business and it's my local yarn store, and we should all be supporting our local yarn store. And so I couldn't buy the needles because she didn't have them, but I came back with this. This is Crazy Waters by Opal. Bardwanan Tauscher. Not a clue. I could Google translate it, but I'm recording on my phone, so I can't. So I bought that one. And then I bought this one, which is upside down. This is also Opal. This is in their Black Dragon range. Grow up. Right, grow up. It's called, I think it's called Dragon Hole. I warned you, Caroline. You can't have a go at me. I warned you. That's certainly what it looks like. Right, where are we? There. Can you see that? Anyway, that's very nice. I'm sorry, I have the sense of humour of a 11-year-old boy. And then I also bought this because I felt like that was a colour that was missing from my heels, toes and cuffs. This is very, very soft for Opal. I found Opal a little bit scratchy. This is ever so soft. Yes, there's that one, which is, well, it's just there. I have no idea. It's just like a winey burgundy colour. And then the lady from the Lace Knittery, whose name has fallen out of my head, botanically dyes yarn, and she gave me this little mini, which is the most beautiful kingfishery colours. There's green and blue. I don't know what she dyed it with. I know she has been growing indigo. I should have asked her what she dyed it with. If I remember when I go back to get my needles next week, I will ask her what she dyed it with. But that's not all the incoming there has been. Excuse me. My friend Jan, who has a podcast called it's the Faithful Sheep something. I keep calling it the Faithful Sheep Diaries, and that's not right. I'm going to link it below anyway. She sent me some yarn. Some Just Because yarn, and it's it's got one of Dave's hairs on it, but otherwise it's so pretty. And I don't know what to do with it. I've never had any Knit Picks Felici before. Is it Knit Picks? Colourway is Red Rocks. It is Nick Picks. I kind of feel that this should not be socks. It's so soft that I think I might make some mitts with it instead, or even gloves. Gloves would be quite cool because you'd have probably almost a whole finger one colour, wouldn't you? And then the next finger would be a different colour. I might do that. Yes, so they were a gift. And then Dave was shopping in his lunch hour the other day and he saw this. And he bought it for me as a mug, but I don't think I can drink out of it. I think I will spill stuff down myself because of the way the lip is formed. I'm not saying everyone will. Most people are perfectly capable adults. Myself, I will spill this all down myself. So I'm going to use it as a yarn bowl when I use a mini. Goes rather nicely in my room, I think. So yes, I have had presents for no reason at all, including presents that I've bought myself. What shall I tell you about next? I had a message from Peter on Sunday. Oh. Peter, if you're new, is my oldest son, who is not a cardboard cutout of Zac Efron. And he asked, could he have some socks? Now, it is rare for someone in my family, they're mostly knitworthy, but it is rare for someone to actually ask me for something. So Dave has asked for socks and a hat. Now Peter has asked for socks. My cup runneth over, people. Even though my sock mojo is a little bit lacking, and even though I'm trying to finish my 36 leftover projects from last year, and even though I keep casting new things on, even though I said I wasn't going to, I'm very excited by the fact that he wants some socks. So he came round yesterday and he chose some yarn out of my extensive sock yarn stash. First of all, he didn't go for any colours that I thought he would. He chose this one, which I don't think they make anymore. And bizarrely, I'd bought this for him a few years ago, 3, maybe 4 years ago, but he was in a phase of colours and these weren't them. So this is colour number 69, which I don't think they make anymore. So he chose that one, which was rather nice because it was intended for him originally. Then he chose this one, Superba Melange Jacquard. Again, there's no colourway name, it's just 002. And that's blues with a little bit of sort of a turquoisey blue splattered in there. And he chose this one, which is another opal. Fresh Freund 2, which is blues and green. And what is amusing about this, and I don't think he noticed, is there is a little frog. He's mortally afraid of frogs. But we're not going to tell him that because he didn't notice. I don't know what. Das Klassentreffen. Again, I should Google that. I can't even begin to guess what that means. But they're all superwash. They're all the standard 75-25 sock because he tumble dries pretty much everything. And I made him some socks. I made him and his wife Lauren some socks with mohair in. Not last Christmas, the Christmas before. And they're afraid to wear them. I did put a little note inside each sock saying, please return to maker for laundry. But that was a joke, but now they're afraid to wear them. And I did say you can wash them, but do not tumble dry them, for fear they may come out as boots rather than socks. So I've got some socks to cast on, and I am taking part in a knit along. I only discovered this designer just after Christmas, and I took part in her 12 Days of Knitmas cowl knit along. Well, this one is the Lonely Hearts Club cowl, and it starts on February 14th and runs till the 28th, I believe. And this is by Nomadic Knits, and it's for a hat. Let me see. Now, it would make sense if I knit the hat to match the cowl, wouldn't it? But that has only just occurred to me. Let me see if I can show you this without giving too much away. I do it like that. Like that. This is the hat. It looks a bit odd because it's on a mason jar to block. But that's basically how the hat will look. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to... I have ideas. I've always got ideas, haven't I? Because you know what I'm like. Go back in there. I fished a skein of merino out of stash, and I don't know whether to just use it undyed and use either just this colour left over from my shawl for the hearts. I thought that would look quite pretty. Or I could use, I think there's 3 rows of hearts, I could use all 3 colours. Not necessarily in that order. I don't know. I love all the colours. I just don't know what to do. Or these colours, I think, would also go, this is far too dark, but they would go with that sort of colour. Look at me juggling now. So I could dye it up kind of a tealy, petrol-y, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I need to make my mind up because it starts tomorrow. So need to crack on really, don't I? I just don't know what to do. Or I could... No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to say I could use that pink yarn for the hearts. No, that's too twee. I'm not going to do that. So I'll be casting that on as well as some socks. So my not casting anything on till April isn't going very well. I think we can safely say. But I have some progress on my cardigan to show you. I've just got to get it from over there. I did not prepare as well as I thought I had done. Because I'm rushing, you see. There's Zoom on and I want to get to Zoom. And I just plain didn't get out of bed early enough. No one's blame but myself. Bear with me one moment. Okay, in this bag, which I don't remember if I showed you. I know I showed it on my vlog. I showed it on my Vlogmas on Christmas Day. Dave made me this bag for Christmas. It is a project bag. And he has made... It's not even in there, you idiot. Caroline, just put any liquids that you may have near you down. I remember now, I put it on a hanger so it'd be easier to show you. Yeah, he made me this bag, and inside it's got a big pocket. This is a big pocket, that popper's closed. And a little pocket. And this, which clips on and off for your stitch markers. And a special pencil pocket. And this is the only place where the design was a little flawed, because I can't get to the popper that's behind it because the pencil's in the way. But honestly, I knew he was making me something, and when I opened it on Christmas Day, I just sat there and cried. It's so beautiful. I underestimated him. I'm calculating now whether I can reach that without having to get up again and turn you off again. I'll try in a minute. Croak is back. This is the... No. I've been talking to myself because I forgot to press record again. I'm also getting very hot. Right, this is the Sonnenstunden cardigan by Evie Knitwear. And I've been working on it for a week, really, since I finished the shawl. Maybe a little less than a week. Anyway, I was there when you saw it last. I have now got as far as dividing for the sleeves. So as you can see, it's knit all in one from the top down, and you have these panels of moss stitch helping you to form the raglan increases. This is the first time I've attempted the cardigan. I have finished one. It comes as a T as well. I've finished one T and I've got two certainly still on the needles over there on the shelf of shame waiting for me. So this is what I've been working on since finishing the shawl, along with two hats and the star flanket, which again I'm not going to show you because there's just more brioche. I still haven't finished it. So these just need a little bit of blocking out, but I don't think it's going to need much in the way of blocking. I changed needles. Where did I change needles? Round about here, I think. The pattern calls for a 3.5. I was not getting gauge. I don't bother in gauge swatch. I start knitting and see how I'm doing and then adjust. I know it's a very cavalier attitude. You can't see it. I keep telling you it's up there. There is an anti-swatch club thing hanging up there. I went up to a 3.75 and I'm much happier with the gauge. I'm going to put this away now. I should tell you what yarn I'm using, shouldn't I? The yarn is James C. Brett in SH09, which is all autumny colours. I do like autumny colours and jewel tones. It's not knitting up quite as I had expected. On my screen, these are very mustardy and bright. I didn't think they were going to be quite as... I was going to say I didn't think they were going to be as stripy as that, which is a bit of a stupid thing to say because I know full well that this yarn knits up stripily. Is that a word? Stripily? It is now. But I thought there was going to be more... I don't know. I don't know what I thought. But it doesn't look as I expected to. That's how I'm going to try and voice that. I think it's okay though. Looking at it in the screen, I do not like it as much as I do when I'm looking at it in real life. But I like all the colours that are in it, so I should be okay. And I've got various t-shirts and dresses that are those colours that it will go with. Yes, so I pulled this out of my little jar to knit after I'd finished that. But quite honestly, I'm a bit fed up with it. So I'm going to put that away again. My plan originally had been to pick something out and knit on it till it was finished. But that, as you can see, I had so very little done. That I'm going to look for something else. Can you hear my tummy? There's my tummy and there's a helicopter. That's the staff blanket, which I'm still working on. This should be the cardigan. It is. So I'm going to put that back in here at the end. This is my little jar with all my whips in. The orange pieces are blankets, the yellow are everything else. So I'm going to just pick another yellow one. Let's have that one. I'm a little anxious about what it might be. Oh, it's my Advent scarf. In other words, the scarf that I was knitting during Advent, which is the Morrison scarf that I was knitting with. I struggled with this all through December. Moonlight fibre. I do not know why. All through December and still now I want to say wildflower yarn. It's not called that. Nothing's called that. I've checked. Friends have checked. It's in my brain. So I'm going to pull that out. Should I do it now? 36 minutes. No, I'll wait. I'll show it to you next week. I should pull it out really, shouldn't I? I'm going to pull it out. Okay, I have it in this very, very un-Christmassy bag. The pattern is squashed. I took everything out of their Christmas bags so I could put the Christmas bags away. Oh, I'd forgotten. Yeah, the printer was not very well. I don't think you can really see it. But it's called the Morrison scarf. It's by Jackie Verbeek and I'm pretty sure it's a free pattern. Let's see how much I have got done. Oh, not a bad amount. I've got this much done. So that's what I'm going to be working on in between socks and hats and blankets for the next week and try and get it finished in the meantime. Might have to take the Christmassy things off it for fear of bad luck, because we don't need any more of that. Nobody needs any more of that. Right. That I'm sure is everything. I'm going to go because I need to be on Zoom and I need to get something to eat and a cup of coffee. Ewan has very selfishly got in the shower, so I'm going to have to make my own cup of coffee. But he is working today. Ordinarily this would be his day off, but he's covering somebody else at work. So he's working 6 days straight. And one of those days he's doing his job with Dave in Yeovil and then changing on the way home and going straight to his other job. So, and he's got a cold. So he's going to be a grumpy little bunny this week, I think. So I won't complain to him about the fact that I've had to make my own coffee because he's not in the mood. Right then, that is everything, I'm pretty sure. So happy Poppy has returned. May only be this week. She might not be there next week. We don't know, do we? We'll see how you're feeling. But yeah, I'm going to go away. I'm going to go and try and unearth my laptop, which is now under a pile of yarn and projects, and Zoom with my friends. So I'll see you next week. Until then, happy knitting. Bye guys.